Surah Al-Fatiha.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. آمين رب العالمين. صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. My respected brothers, uncles, scholar in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The reason I started with this dua today is that we tend to sometimes, well, I speak for myself, that when I hear this being recited at a mosque or anywhere, at any gathering, I'm the first to jump to it and to recite along with it, to follow along. And I tend to ask this question that, do we realize what we're saying? Some of us do. For myself, when I started memorizing this surah, dua, I didn't pay attention to exactly what I was saying. Or, was I actually reciting this from my heart? So, I wanted to start off with this dua today because I will be speaking a little bit about Imam Mahdi. And so I just wanted to talk briefly about him and also about this dua that we also recite so often. Also, when we see the number 313, most of us might have seen the movie. Also, when we see the time, we see 3:13 p.m. in our car in the office, we rush to recite this. But this is what we see, and I just have the translation here, and I'm going to share it with you. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. O Allah, be for your representative, the Hujjah, son of Al-Hasan. Your blessings be on him and his forefathers. In this hour and in every hour, a guardian, a protector, a leader, a helper, a proof, and an eye, until you make him live on the earth in obedience to you, and cause him to live in it for a long time. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Okay, so today I intend to briefly speak about Imam Mahdi alayhi salam, the Hujjah, the Ahlul Bayt, inshallah, Bibi Fatima alayhi salam, Allah, and committing the worst sin, which to me would be, which I'm going to be talking about a little bit, is backbiting, inshallah. But before I start, why am I up here? This, first of all, is, to me, I just want to make this clear, I'm not reciting a majlis. It's more like a lecture. I want to make that clear. I'm not a preacher. Don't look at me as a preacher. Don't look at me as a leader. I don't want to be looked upon like that. I'm just an average Joe here sitting in front of you today. And I'm not perfect, and I'm far from it. But why am I up here? what had happened was about 2 years ago, I was sitting in the lectures at the park in Muharram. And I was sitting, and during the first, third, fourth night, I guess you could say, it hit me hard. And it hit me really hard. And I'm like, why couldn't I be there for Hazrat Abbas or Imam Hussein on the plains of Karbala? Why do I have to be born so late in time where I couldn't be on those plains helping them, you know, like just representing myself in front of them and saying, here I am, I'm here to fight in your name. After I got past that point, I'm like, what can I do now? It's 2009 now today, and it's like, you know, I feel like, okay, I can be a good Muslim. We can all be a good Muslim. We can all, you know, follow Islam, follow Shiaism, you know, love the Ahlul Bayt. But what else can we do for Imam Hussein, for Hazrat Abbas, for Imam Zain al-Abidin, whoever that you feel really attached to in the time in Karbala? That's where it hit me. Obviously, I've talked to some people as well during that time, and the thing that we can all do is, if we have some information, if we've gained something from the majlis, and there was someone that could not make it for that one majlis, or was sick during those months that couldn't attend, just repeat what you heard. Repeat what you heard. Talk about Karbala. Talk about Shiaism. Spread Shiaism. Spread Islam. You know, this is what we could do in this day and age in 2009 for the Ahlul Bayt, for Hazrat Abbas, for Imam Hussein. Go out there and talk. And just share with people, and if someone gains something out of what you say, subhanAllah, you've done something. You've done something for Imam Hussein, you've done something for Hazrat Abbas. So, this is what I intend to do, and this is what I want to share with you, brothers, that, you know, we can all do this. But as I'm up here, and some of you brothers are really close with me and know that I'm not perfect. Again, I have some flaws. I have some shortcomings. I'm trying to reduce and get rid of some bad habits, which I'm sure, you know, none of us are perfect. We all are trying. So before I come up and before I came up or go up to sit in the future on top at any chair in front of an audience, I wanted to make clear that, you know, I'm okay doing this. So I went and I talked to someone. And I'm like, I want to do this, but I have some shortcomings. What do I do? He says, well, Fayaz, two things. Number one, you can wait till you're done and till you perfect yourself. But in that meantime, you'll either A, become very lazy and say that, you know what, there's no way I'm going to be able to quit A or B. So, you know, but he says, first do one thing. If you have something that someone can benefit from you, anything, share it. But at the same token, improve yourself, fix up yourself, and do not be hypocritical. So if I come up here and I say, my brothers and sisters, music is haram, you should not be listening to it. But then if I go outside and I go into my car and I sit and I just turn on my CD player, that is the worst sin that I could be doing. So we have to make that clear, that as for me, as for any preacher that gets up on the pulpit, on a chair, is hypocritical. It cannot be. And so this is what I'm up here. A lot of people know me, and I'm just, this is the reason, and this is what I'm trying to do and trying to share up here, inshallah. I'll start with the biggest shaitan today, and that was, I was going to talk about backbiting today. Now, backbiting, I feel, is a pretty big sin. There is adultery as well, which we know is a very big sin as well. But when one commits adultery, it's easy to say, okay, Allah, forgive me. But what you obviously would do is first you'd ask the person that you've committed the adultery with, that, you know, forgive me, and then I'll go to Allah and ask for forgiveness and make sure that we do not commit the sin again. Whereas backbiting is so easy to do. Gibat. That, for instance, if I were to commit gibat, backbiting, and I go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and I say, Allah, I'm asking for forgiveness. Allah will say, not that easy. Not that easy. First, you're going to go back to that person that you have backbitten about and tell him that you've done this. Secondly, you have to ask for forgiveness from that person. Then you can go to Allah. But then, it's not that easy still. Because now you have to think about that person if you've not told that person directly and you've told somebody else, this thing spreads like wildfire. You know how big a community is. Mashallah, our community is quite big and still growing. It spreads like wildfire. So to actually ask forgiveness from Allah, you have to go through everyone and make sure that this little fib, this little rumor that you might have started or helped shared is stopped. Meaning, you go around and you make sure that those people that you've talked to, you make sure it's clear. That, listen, bro, the things I've shared, the things I've told you, it's not true, or I shouldn't have said that, and I'm asking for forgiveness, and this got to stop. So then, Allah will forgive me. Now, I'm going to share a little story with you to put this into retrospective. I'll put up an example of my good friend Ali-Okera here that's sitting here. And let's say, for instance, there is somebody that's talking trash about him. And so sorry about that. But what he would do is, visually, to imply this in our minds, someone takes a bow and an arrow and shoots this towards Sarah. He shoots it, the bow is flying towards him. What happens is, he doesn't know about this rumor or anything. That arrow falls somewhere just around here. Doesn't reach him. That arrow lands around there, that message has only gotten up to there. Now I get that message, I hear about it. And I'm like, oh my God, is that really true? Or, man, I go over to the next person and say, hey, have you heard about this, about Ali-Okera? I pick up that arrow, now I'm shooting it closer and closer to him. That other person will hear about it and shoot it closer. At the end, that one person will get that message. And how will he get that message? Somebody will pick up that bow and he'll take it to Ali-Okera and stab him right in that chest. That is the impact of ghibah. God forbid if I was that person that went up to him and said, Ali-Okera, have you heard the rumors that are going around? That is me picking up that arrow and stabbing it on your chest. Now how does he feel? He'll obviously hate me because obviously he's in pain. That bow has just struck him in his chest. So obviously he's like, Fayaz, what are you talking about? A. B, he'll be like upset because now this has all started, like, what happened. Just imagine if I had left that arrow there, let it be. It went through my ear, I let it out the other ear. I said, you know what, whatever, this is going on, none of my business, I don't know the true facts of it, and let it be. That is the way to go. That arrow would have sat there, it wouldn't have ever hit him, he wouldn't have ever known, and in fact no one would have been bringing that arrow closer and closer and closer to him. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. In the beginning of the lecture, I mentioned 313, 3:13 p.m., the clock. I'm going to talk a little bit about this right now. I'm going to talk about the beauties and signs of Imam Mahdi, inshallah. We know the number 313, and for the ones that are not too clear with that, that's the 313 true followers and companions, inshallah. But why only 313? Why aren't there 313? I mean, if you really think about the existence of the world, people that have been before us, if these 313 already existed, I'm sure he would have come by now. But if you really think about it, these 313 have to be noble people. They have to have such character. And they have to be able to harbor their animal actions when they're angry. To be completely calm, have no anger. Okay? They also have to be politically strong. And they have to achieve the love of Imam Mahdi and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I'll give you an example of this. And that is that right now, for instance, if Imam Mahdi called this group here that we're at today. And I was going to say a mountain, but we don't have any mountains in the vicinity. So let's pull up downtown Toronto and let's see the Scotia Tower. And let's see, Imam Mahdi calls us up to the roof of the Scotia Tower building in downtown Toronto. And says that, okay, for the love of me and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're going to be my true followers. You're going to come up, everyone line up at the top of the roof, and you're going to jump in my name, in the name of Imam Mahdi, for him and for the love of Allah. Now we're all lining up at the stair corridor. There's the last door. Everyone that goes out, no one's returning. And here I'm sitting here and I'm shaking now. You know, I'm next, or there's two more people in front of me. What's going to happen is that's the biggest test. That's the biggest test. That how much do we really love Imam Mahdi? How much are we willing to do anything for him to become either a servant of Imam Mahdi or, inshallah, the 313 companions of his. I want you to remember one thing, that we aren't waiting for Imam Mahdi. He is waiting for us to pave the road for his coming, inshallah. Now, I want to ask you a question, all of you guys a question, including myself, that if we remember our first crush and how we felt, or the first time we fell in love with our fiancés for the ones that are engaged, or the ones that are married the first time we fell in love with our wives. You know, we couldn't eat, we couldn't sleep. At work, we're messing up everything. Our managers and bosses are like screaming at us that what's up with all of these mistakes. Now, this is how, in retrospective, we should feel towards Imam al-Mahdi, alayhi salam, and towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That every time, you know, we have our heartbeats rushing, because every time we remember Imam Mahdi, our heart rushes, and it's like our hairs rise on our hands, and our heart races, and we have the smile in our face. To achieve the love, and to achieve his attention, and to, inshallah, be a part of his companions, or his servants, inshallah, this is how we should love and look towards not only him, but inshallah the Ahlul Bayt as well, because these are all important to us and important for us to achieve the mercy of Allah and the blessings of Allah, inshallah. Next thing is that, you know, any of us can talk to Imam Mahdi. We all know that. I mean, we've been all told that. You know, I don't know how much of us have actually tried doing that, but it's pretty simple. And I'm talking at a general level today. I'm just, you know, straight out, just brother to brother. And I'm going to tell you that, you know, if we have issues, you know, be it illness, money, work, family, the works, we should turn to him. But then we should trust him enough that we don't turn to anyone else. For instance, if we need money, okay, we turn to Imam Mahdi. Oh, he's a sustainer. Okay, no doubt. Have that faith. He is a sustainer. But then at that time, we don't go to the Jamaat and we go to this person or that person. Bye. I need money, I don't have money, you know, will you help me too? I've already asked Imam Mahdi, okay? But yeah, brother, I need money, will you help me? You know, this is the test in life. Not only with Imam Mahdi, okay? With Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well. That, you know, if you have that faith in them, and you ask them, and you don't turn aside this way and that way and everything like that, and just concentrate, and have enough faith, inshallah, you'll get it, okay? Now, before we start talking to the imams and everything, some people may wonder that, okay, this guy sounds a little bogus sitting up here talking to imams, you know? Let me explain you a little something here. If you were to go to Canadian Tire, Home Depot, be it whatever department store you go to, or a building block, and you want to make a return. You want to return the tires that you used all winter long. Okay, your winter tires, you know, I don't like it, whatever. So you go to customer service. What do? You go to customer service. You will never see the manager, or you may see him if you're lucky, but the owner, never. You go to the customer service. You go to the customer service and they'll help you. So when you want to go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has His customer service. That is the Ahlul Bayt. So to get something, you go to Allah's customer service, and that is His Ahlul Bayt. Go to Him. Pray, ask them. They are loved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like you have no idea. So you go to him, you ask them, and you make sure that you direct the message in such a way that, you know what, this is for Allah, but I'm asking through you because you are loved so much through Allah's eyes. Be it any imam that you're close with, especially Imam Mahdi, because he is here today, inshallah. Okay, so let's see, yeah, so let's say, for instance, right now, I have a question to ask, another question. I love asking questions. Right now, if we were going through a problem, as I mentioned earlier, illness, money, work, family, whatever it is. And let's say you loved somebody you could choose somebody from Karbala right now, okay, that you're really close with. Be it Imam Hussein again, be it Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam, be it Imam Zainul Abidin. Choose, or anyone else, but picture someone that you're really close with. You have a lot of faith in Imam, okay? And what if I told you right now, at this moment of time, they were alive, for instance, okay? And they are in Karbala right now, or in the Middle East, and I told you can go to Gala Travel right now, pick up a ticket, and fly over there and talk to him. I'm telling you personally, I would go. And now, you know what I would do? I would go there, and I would tell, for instance, Imam Hussein, all my problems. I would rest my head on his lap. This is me. This is what I'm telling you I would do. I would rest my head on his lap, and I would let him run his fingers through my hair and tell me, Fayaz, everything will be okay, inshallah. I mean, wouldn't we do that? Wouldn't we all want that? Like, I would feel like all my troubles, all my stress, everything is gone, away. I would do that. This is the beauty of today. Imam Mahdi is alive, and he is here, and he's just a fetch call away. And how do we do this? Assalamu alaikum, ya Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. It is faraj to say wa alaikum salam back to us. Now we have his attention. We have his attention. Now we can ask. And he says, Allah says, we can ask. This is ask. Okay? Be respectful, but ask and demand. And I'm telling you one thing from experience, and I'm sure other people's experiences, you'll get your answer. Yeah, if not the next day, if not the next week, 2 weeks. But I'm telling you it works. Okay? And the way you'll get your answer is either in your sleep, if you're lucky, or from a friend, or a co-worker, inshallah, or family. And I'll tell you how. Believe it or not, and we all know it, there are angels around us. Okay? There are angels, and there is Imam Mahdi's servants. Okay? That come out of nowhere and appear when there is a need. So these angels, these servants, they do bump into people, or they will whisper a message into someone that is noble or pious, that we are close with, into their ears. And they will come to us, and like a buddy of us will come and come up to us and tell us what we're looking for. And I'm sure we will feel something like, when we tell a friend, like, oh my God, like if we were looking for something, and a co-worker comes up to us and tells us something out of the blue, we'll be like, oh my God, you know what? You're an angel. I mean, how many times has that happened to us? Oh my God, you're God sent. Oh my God, I was just thinking that. We've all gone through it, but it is for us to reflect upon that and think that we had asked Allah. We had maybe asked Imam Mahdi. Maybe we had asked one of the Ahlul Bayt that, you know what, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I need. And then somebody comes up to us and boom, he just tells us something which just all of a sudden makes sense. A solution to a problem. Or he could give you, or be it like medication or a specialist that you're looking for, or contact information for a job, inshallah, whatever it may be. I'm sure it has happened to all of you because it has happened to me. And now, as I'm telling you, I'm reflecting at this moment of time and thinking to myself that yes, who else could it be? Subhanallah, Allah is great. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Talking about Imam Mahdi, I want to just tell you that Allah really loves Imam Mahdi a lot. And I want to explain you something which is a little deep, but I want you to hear me out. Okay, the beauty that we see on the earth is for him, is for Imam Mahdi. He is the resident of this earth, of this dunya. The rainbows that we see outside, the sunsets, the aqua-colored waters on the seashores of Punta Cana, Cuba, wherever we are at. Okay, the brushed, beautiful clouds that we see. The rain that's coming down when it's still sunny outside. Okay? The stars clusters that we see on a clear night. The moon that's rising at night and we see it ever so big, sometimes red. Subhanallah. These are the gifts for him. But then we see it, don't we? Like, I thought it was for us. Honestly, I did, before I got this little bit of information. It's for our Imam, and let me explain why. Okay, let's say for instance, let's say Ali Jawad comes home. I'll pick on you now, give you a break. Ali Jawad comes home, and let's say for instance his family was living with him here, and I call him home. And before I call him home, I'm going to set up my house. I'm going to clean up my house. I'm going to put oud or agarbati. Oud is nice. Huh? I'll use oud this time. I'm going to put oud, clean up the house beautifully. I want to call Ali Jawad here, but I know he lives with his family. So because it's one household, I'm going to call his family over to my house for a nice evening. Okay? So now, he comes home and he smells this beautiful fragrance in my house and sees the beautiful cleanliness that I've Windexed and this and that, Swiffered the floors and whatever. So his family sees this, and now he says, it's for him, it's for you, but now your family also benefits from this. And it says, wow, this is nice, the house smells nice. Then I set up the table, bring out the food, whatever, biryani or pulao or whatever, khichdi, whatever. And he eats it, and he loves it. And his family, his parents, his mom, dad, they come and join us at the table as well. And they start to appreciate the smell of the food, the texture of the food. The same way, we are right now experiencing all the beauties of Allah that Allah has set for Imam Mahdi on this dunya right now. The rainbows, the beautiful miracles that we see sometimes, the shooting stars. We are benefiting out of this because we are also the residents of this dunya. And this is for us to say, Subhanallah, Allah is great. And also to remember Imam Mahdi at all times, even with reciting this little dua that we had started with in the beginning of this lecture, inshallah. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to talk about another short little topic here. And that is the Nur of the Ahlul Bayt, inshallah. There are 5 bright stars up in the heaven. Okay? Before Prophet Muhammad and before Prophet Adam, and subhanAllah, my eyes were opened to this. Before I just continue on, a little bit about me, personal bit. I'm a revert back into Islam, born as a Muslim, took it for granted. Heard stuff through one ear, out the other ear. But I'm telling you, when I came back, it hit me hard. And now it's like I have this magnet. Inshallah, a lot of people will benefit from this, and a lot of people would have experienced this, inshallah, or will experience this in the near future. And for me, it's like I just have this magnet, and I'm just pulling things just towards me, just information. And subhanAllah, a lot of this has been new information for me. That's why I'm sharing it. A lot of you brothers, inshallah, have heard this before. But the light of the Ahlul Bayt existed even before the time of Adam. That was a shocker for me. Because as far as you hear in the general majlises, just usually when they touch it, is that, you hear that, okay, after Prophet Muhammad, came baby Fatima, which is like the first light. Okay? But these lights were all in existence before Prophet Adam. Okay? The angels would look up into the heavens, into the skies, and see these 5 lights, mashallah. Okay? And it has been narrated in some hadith, and if you are interested, I can get you the hadith. But it has been said that these lights were the ones that taught the angels that La ilaha illallah. There is no God but Allah. We are something else. We are not 5 gods or whatever they may have thought these might have been. Okay? Now, there are stories about these lights that I just want to share with you very quickly. That, subhanAllah, when Nuh alayhi salam was building his ark and was ready to depart the land with his ark, there were jinns all the time. Okay, until today, they bug us a lot. But there was this one jinn, and he was rocking this ark. Some of you may have heard this, some of you may have not. But they would cause mischief to the max. Now Prophet Noah was getting quite worried, because what is happening now is people are losing hope in Noah and his handmade ark. Okay? This is when Nuh alayhi salam looks up into the sky and asks for help. He asks for help, and it is being recorded in some hadith that all of a sudden from the heavens comes down this horse, this man on a horse with a sword, galloping at lightning speed towards Noah, towards Prophet Noah, to help him and to get this jinn out of the way. One story. Another story is that with Prophet Musa alayhi salam, what had happened was when he took that staff and he threw it down and it turned into a snake. We've all heard this story. According to some hadith, it has been told that this snake was not just an ordinary snake, because there were magicians. There were a lot of magicians out there. And I mean, anyone could, like, people were converting stuff into snakes or whatever. The snake was known to be a huge snake. And had it been able to open its mouth all the way, it has been said that it would have been able to swallow the whole earth. It was a big snake. It has been said that when Musa alayhi salam was at that point where he was told now hold that snake, grab onto that snake and convert it back to a staff, he paused for a minute, he froze for a minute, and then he looked up. And it has been narrated that again, from the heavens came this person on a horse with a sword, rushing towards him. Subhanallah. And so I'm just, let's see, so that's pretty much that over there. A little thing also that which is pretty interesting about souls and about because we're talking about the souls of the Ahlul Bayt, that it's been said that our souls were actually created 2,000 years before our body was created. All the souls are created. When we look at each other today, we have fathers, we have brothers, we have sons. There was a time when all souls were actually created, and you can say it in one field or in one room. Okay? And then there was no time at that time. But then as the world was developed and our souls were brought down, that's how everything was kind of brought down and generation was built up. And as we know, the first soul did come down on Prophet Adam's back spine. And I'm just going to jump a little bit here because I know we're tight on time. But I want to talk about Bibi Fatima alayhi salam, inshallah, right now, and her light and her soul. And we know that her soul and her light was the last to come down out of the 5 lights that were up there. It was a beacon, it was a light for the angels in the heavens. And what happened was that light, for it to come down to this dunya, it has been also narrated that Angel Jibril was actually asked or told or to see if that angel Gabriel, the archangel, could bring down this light. It has been narrated in some hadith that this angel, check this out, this angel had wings so big that if it's in its whole entire form, if you put this angel next to this earth, it could wrap one wing around one side of this earth and one wing on the other side of this earth. That size. And this angel was asked to bring Bibi Fatima's nur, light, soul down, and even this angel couldn't bring it down. Until Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam was asked to go up on Miraj. We all know the story about Miraj. But in realistic terms, we ask ourselves, that had it been only for it to see, if he was up there just to go and see the heavens and what people were going through at that time, he could have been told this in his sleep, but there was a bigger task for him when he went up from Miraj. It has been narrated in some hadith that when he had gone up, he was asked to eat this gorgeous apple, the most tastiest apple. When he took a bite of this is when Bibi Fatima's nur went into Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam. This is when it went into his body. He came back down. And when he came back down, the beauty of it is his pillow was still warm. He came back down, and that is when that light transferred to Bibi Khadija, and then it was transferred to Bibi Fatima alayhi salam. Now, all this here, okay, let's see, I'm just gonna, you see, now with this word of the Nur and the impact that she has had with our lives, none could enter Bibi Fatima's house, none, okay, without permission. We read in Hadith Qissa that in every single incident when someone came, when each Ahlul Bayt would come towards the door, they would knock the door and ask for permission. Who was at the door? Bibi Fatima alayhi salam. They would knock the door and ask permission, may we enter? Right? We all have read, inshallah, the English meaning as well. Okay? It has also been narrated that even the angel of death wasn't allowed to enter this house without the permission. This house. This house. But then we hear that at the end of Bibi Fatima's life, these barbarians, my brothers and sisters, that's, inshallah, if they are hearing my topic and my speech right now, the way that they went and they burnt that door and crushed that door on Bibi Fatima alayhi salam between the door and the wall. Not only that, but killing Muhsin alayhi salam in her stomach and breaking her ribs. Astaghfirullah. I'm going to sum up this lecture. I know it is pretty long, but I'm going to talk a little bit about her. And I just wanted to share you a little something right now. That every tear is collected by Bibi Fatima when we cry for her children, and is presented as a witness on the Day of Judgment, inshallah, my brothers. Also, according to hadith from Kamil Ziyarat, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said, those who shed a tear when Hussein alayhi salam is mentioned in front of them will be rewarded by Allah Himself, even if their tear is as small as the wing on a fly. And Allah will be pleased, Allah will not be pleased with any reward for them less than paradise, inshallah. So now I'm going to narrate the last few moments of Bibi Fatima's life from the Nahj al-Balagha, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The year 11 AH was the saddest year for Hazrat Ali alayhi salam. He lost two of his best friends, one of whom he loved and venerated like a father, like a master, and like the dearest friend, the Holy Prophet alayhi salam, who died during the early months of this year. His death was followed by the death of Hazrat Ali's dearest companion, his wife, Fatima, the Lady of the Light. What one could gather from various accounts which these books have given is a sad, pathetic episode. It appears that though Hazrat Ali decided to retire to his seclusion of his house and not take any part of the power politics, yet his house was burnt down on the head of his family, and either the burning door or the hard hit from the hilt of a sword or of a heavy push altogether broke the ribs and the hand of Hazrat Fatima alayhi salam, daughter of the Holy Prophet alayhi salam, and caused her such serious injury that her baby that she was carrying was a stillbirth. Now this is the little story here. There was nobody in the house but Ali, Fatima, and their children, who were between the ages of 4 to 8. Apparently the assault was sudden and unexpected. Nobody was ready for it. The resulting confusion could be better imagined than narrated. The lady of the house was seriously hurt. Her hand had fainted. The house was full of smoke. The children were frightened. Ali was attending his wounded wife and suffocating children. He was overpowered and dragged from the house. Later, Hazrat Fatima was refused her heritage. The physical injury and the mental shock laid her low, and after a short illness, she passed away on the 14th of Jamad al-Awwal, 11th AH. She was buried in the dead of the night. Besides Bani Hashim, only the following companions of the Holy Prophet ﷺ attended her funeral: Salman, Abu Zar, Ammar, and Miqdad. Before her death, she had expressed her sufferings in a poem, a verse of which has come down in the Arabic language as a proverb. She says, "So many sufferings have descended upon me, that if they had descended upon bright days, they would have been turned into the dark nights." The account of the last day of her life clearly shows what kind of lady a lady was this daughter of the Holy Prophet ﷺ? She told the household that she was feeling better. The pain in her ribs and her hands were not severe, and that her fever has come down. My brothers, we can all imagine this. We can all see this. We all have mothers, sisters, wives in our household. Sometimes when they are sick, they act brave and they act strong. We can all relate to this when we know that the pain that they're going through inside them. So I'm going to continue this, and inshallah we can imagine this and kind of feel this pain. Then she started bathing the children. After all of this, my brothers, bathing the children. Immediately Ali and Fiza came to her assistance. She got those children bathed, dressed and fed, and then sent them away to her cousins. Then she called Hazrat Ali to her side and said the following: Ali, my dear husband, you know very well that why I did all that I did. Please excuse my fussiness. They have suffered so much with me and during my illness that I want to see them happy on the last day of my life. Yes, Ali, you also know, you know also that this is the last day of my life. I am happy and I'm also sad. Happy that my troubles will surely be over and I shall meet my father. And sorry that I am to part with you. Please, Ali, make a note of what I say and do as I wish you to do. After me, you may marry anybody you like, but you must marry my cousin Yamama. She loves my children and Hussein is very much attached to her. Let Fiza remain with you after her marriage. If she desires, she was more than a mere servant to me. I love her like my daughter. Ali, bury me in the night, and do not let those who have been so cruel to me attend my burial. Let my death do not dishearten you. You have to serve Islam and humanity for a long time to come. Let not my sufferings embitter your life. Promise me, Ali. Ali replies, yes, Fatima, I promise. Then, I know how you love my children, but be very careful of Hussein. He loves me dearly and will miss me sadly.
No.
Be a mother unto him. Till my recent illness, he used to sleep on my chest. He is already missing it. Ali was caressing the broken hand, and his hot big tear dropped on her hand. She looked up and said, do not weep, Ali. I know with a rough outward appearance, what a tender heart you possess. You have already borne too much and will have to bear more. Farewell, my lord. Farewell, my dear husband. Farewell, Ali. Ali replies, farewell, Fatima. May the merciful Lord help you to bear these sorrows and suffering patiently. Fatima says, now let me be alone with my God. Saying this, she turned towards her prayer carpet and prostrated before God. When, after a little time, Hazrat Ali entered back into the room, he found her still in prostration, but the soul had departed to join the Holy Father, her Holy Father, in the realm of His grace, mercy, and might. She died very young, as Hazrat Ali says. Hazrat Ali narrates this poem. A flower nibbled in the bud. It was from Jannah, heaven, and it went back to Jannah, but left its fragrance in my mind forever. Ya Allah. Let us, inshallah, all raise our hands and ask for forgiveness, Ya Allah. Let us ask Allah to fulfill our wishes, Ya Allah. Let us ask Allah to help and cure the sick people, Ya Allah. People going through pain, people going through war, through innocent killings. Let this all stop now, Ya Allah. May Allah bless this get-together and hasten the appearance of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. Let's recite the Surah Fatiha after aloud. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. الرحمن الرحيم مالك
يا حسين